new survey finds that when it comes to the election, housing costs is the biggest voting issue for Gen Zers, outranking the economy and abortion. The study from Redfin found that 91% of adult Gen Zers surveyed said housing affordability will influence their presidential pick. On the other hand, millennials, Gen Xers, and baby boomers all said the economy was their top issue in the upcoming presidential election. And joining us now to talk about this and more is Jeffrey Campbell, professor of macroeconomics at the University of Notre Dame. Professor, good to be with you as always. Not really surprising here that housing costs is one of the top issues for the younger generation. And quite frankly, it really is top of mind for a lot of people as well. The cost of buying a home and even renting has gone up significantly since the last election. And as we know, the more you have to spend on housing, the less you have to spend on everything else. So it really does have a trickle-down effect.
Absolutely, Tracy. And this generation has a particular reason to be concerned about housing prices. Since the pandemic, housing inflation has been in the 6 to 7% range, whereas before the pandemic, it was about 2%. So the ability for these current young people who are in Generation Z to start a family, get that first house, is really being challenged by the current economy.
Yeah, and elsewhere, the Bureau of Labor Statistics announced that job openings hit a 3-year low this week. Talk to us more about this, and is this a sign of concern?
So yes, it is a 3-year low. It came in, the job openings came in at about 5% of private business employment. New hires came in at about 3%. These are both low relative to the last few years. But I think it's important to keep in mind that these numbers were very, very high in the immediate aftermath of the pandemic. And these numbers, 5%, 3%, are actually quite comparable to the numbers we were getting out of a healthy economy before the pandemic. So those numbers don't particularly have me concerned, thankfully.
Yeah. Something else I'm going to touch on, it was an Associated Press report stating that the median CEO compensation in the S&P 500 is nearly 200 times more than the median employee salary. I mean, obviously they have different roles and responsibilities here, but still that's a significant difference in pay. Has there always been such a huge earnings disparity?
There hasn't always been such a huge earnings disparity. It's been very large for as long as you and I have been around. It was about 50 times when we were younger. It's ballooned a lot. The causes of that ballooning and whether it's a benign or harmful development is very much up for debate.
All right, we don't have a lot of time left, but I do want to get to this. The University of Michigan's U.S. Index of Consumer Sentiment showed its first significant decrease of 2024, albeit slightly above its position this time last year. Meantime, a recent survey by the accounting firm KPMG found that while people are mainly optimistic about their own personal finances, they are still worried about the U.S. economy. What's more, many of those folks say they plan to do more discount shopping this year, even those people who make above $200,000 a year. Professor Campbell, what do you think this signals?
What I think this signals is still inflation worries have not gone away. When we talk to ordinary consumers and workers about their expectations of the economy, overwhelmingly, inflation is the big deal. And we saw that in 2021 and 2022 with very low readings of the Michigan survey. These readings are a little bit higher than that, but not really consistent with a healthy economy. And so I fear that consumer fears of inflation are still with us.
Okay, we're going to leave it right there. Professor, always good to be with you. Thank you so much for weighing in. We appreciate it.
Likewise. Thank you.